A major blow to the Islamic State. The FBI stopped 4 plots to sell nuclear material to ISIS. Now, a Russian smuggling gang was busted selling deadly radioactive materials to Middle Eastern extremists. Investigators say that these gangs are thriving in a black market in nuclear materials in the Eastern European country of Moldova and other areas, by the way. Now, some of the gang members are actually believed to have ties with the KGB. So just how dangerous is this black market becoming? And could ISIS actually ever get their hands on nuclear material? Joining me now, Lieutenant Colonel Ralph Peters, Fox News strategic analyst. This is the kind of stuff, Colonel Peters, that we see in movies. I mean, it's kind of scary and frightening to know that 4 of these plots have been foiled in the last 5 years, one just in February. It makes us feel like, okay, they've got to keep trying.
Yeah, indeed. The FBI and other agencies, but especially the FBI, have been foiling this kind of plots for the last quarter century, since the Soviet Union came apart. I mean, that was the land of loose nukes. And I often feel that, while we all are ready to criticize government anytime, the FBI really doesn't get credit for great work it does. That said, and by the way, this time, because the FBI worked this so well, the Russian mobsters were never able to actually reach Islamic State or Al-Qaeda. They were intercepted. But this will go on. There's an entire shadow world of not only Russian but East European mobsters. With globalization comes a globalization of crime, and they will sell not just radioactive material but virtually anything. We have to be on our guard. But the bad news is, sooner or later, some loose radioactive junk of the kind, not fissile material for weapons, but dirty bomb stuff, some of it's going to get out, and the likeliest target is Europe.
Europe. Here's the thing, though. According to the article I read, that the black market folks who had possession of this material really specifically wanted one of these Middle Eastern terrorist organizations, ISIS or someone like that, to get it, so they would specifically target Americans. I mean, that's scary and despicable.
Well, you have a couple things at work there. First of all, who else wants to buy radioactive material for a dirty bomb? I mean, if you want to sell it, you want to sell it to Islamic State, to Al-Qaeda, and they can come up with money from their funders in Saudi Arabia, the Gulf, and elsewhere. But Russia is a pretty complex beast. There are just a lot of plain America haters. When the Soviet Union came apart, the KGB, now FSB and other intelligence agencies, but the old KGB guys profited greatly because they knew not only where the bodies were buried, they knew where the gold was hid, they knew where the nukes were. And so we still have a problem with these shadow agents that aren't really in the KGB or the FSB or the KGB anymore, but they're out there working the deals between government officials and the black market. And it's a system that's alien to our senses, but it's very, very dangerous. Now, Putin himself, he would not mind seeing a dirty bomb attack on a Western city, especially U.S., but he's probably not going to directly facilitate it. Why? Because he's much more worried about Islamist terrorists using it on Russian soil.
Yeah, well, now that, of course, they have Russian troops in Syria, that makes them an easier target as well.